alert. Black alert.
Here we are. This is the completed model kit by Polar Lights, the USS Discovery in 1/2500th scale. It's been a very fun build, and I think this is a great model kit. If we're going over pros and cons of this model kit, the first pro that we have is this is accurate. This is the USS Discovery as she's presented in the TV show. Now, some people might say, hey, that ship's nacelles are too long. They might not look how flat it is. But as far as the model kit goes, this is what is showing up on our TV screens every week. So we got to give them that. Whether you like the ship or not, this model kit is accurate. And I think the level of detail is absolutely a pro for this. So the detail that they could mold in, they molded in. It's not all done with decals. So if you look here, you will see these little indentations are all molded in. These stripes are molded in. Looking down the nacelles, you'll see these panel lines are all molded into the ship. Now, the things that they could not do by molding it in and having it be in scale, they have done with decals. So you can see the windows along that saucer. You can see the windows along the neck of the ship. You can see windows along the bottom, all done with decals. Even looking kind of up into the middle of that disc, you can see there are windows represented there. So the things that they couldn't represent by molding it, they represent with decals. So the detail is a pro, the accuracy is a pro, and the fit is definitely a pro. For being a snap kit, it fits wonderfully well together. And it really does have some tight tolerances. Back here on the nacelle, sandwiching in that clear part in between the two opaque parts, that's a great fit. The only gaps, which I pointed out early in the video, was right here on the nacelles. So maybe take away a point in fit for that. But overall, everything else really does come together very closely. That's the seam right there, and it kind of just ends up looking like a panel line. So fit is great. As far as cons, man, the Aztec decals, it's a love-hate thing. It's a big pro to have the Aztec decals to give you all those great panel lines. It's also a con because they can be kind of hard to work with sometimes. You do get a few wrinkles, and there's some of the things that I think I would have had more fun painting. And if this wasn't a review where I want to show all the decals, I probably would have painted these parts myself. Slightly make those a lighter color. Do a lot of the brown striping here. I would have liked to have paint those instead of doing those as decals. So the Aztec decals are a pro and a con. Just no matter how well you work with them, you will get a few wrinkles in those decals, and you'll get a few places where try as I might, I just could not get them to line up. I think once the solvus started acting on it, it started pulling each of these in different directions. So you can see a little wrinkle, and you can see my silver does not match up all the way around the circle. The biggest con is I'd love a bigger version of this model. I would love a 1/1400th version, or even a 1000th scale model kit of this. There is so much detail. There was so much that you look at it. You'd love to light all the windows. You'd love to light all the beacons. You'd love to just paint some of these real intricate patterns that are done as decals on this. So I would love a bigger version. But for being the smaller size, Polar Lights really did go out of their way to make a great kit. providing those decals is wonderful. Providing the clear parts is, of course, something I love. I love that they went out of their way. They haven't done that on the other 2500 scale ships to really provide us with some clear parts. And, you know, those clear parts are really a great way for you to be able to make the model your own and do some other things with it, like how we lit it in this build. So let's take a look at those lights. All right, and here is our ship lit up. So we've lit the warp nacelles, we've lit the engines, we've lit the bridge dome, we've lit the deflector. And it's great to be able to do things like that to make your model different than what everybody else is doing. I think it was great that Polar Lights gave us those clear parts. I think the kit was wonderfully engineered to kind of lend itself to doing some adjustments like this. But, you know, even if you're not going to light it, those clear parts are great because you can paint that blue and get at least a blue layer there sandwiched in between the top and the bottom of the nacelle. There's our lit bridge dome. It's a bridge and all of its detail. Those clear parts for the front of the warp nacelle really are great. Just giving us those 3 spots of blue light. The clear part around the side to be lit up. You know, I really think the hobby of modeling is great because people can take the same kit and just go in a dozen different ways. So I'm excited to see how other people build this. I'm excited to see people really open it up and do more lighting or less lighting. I'm excited to see people paint it instead of the Aztec decals. I think it's a great model kit to really just open things up for people to build this their way and upgrade it if they want to, or build it in a simple fashion if they want to. Thank you guys for following my build. Thank you for following our channel. I'd love to hear your comments on the build down below. I'd love to see your builds. Thank you guys very, very much. As we finish up here, we're just going to show some still shots of the model in all of its wonderful detail.